So we all know that I am not just your TV girl, Dolakbo, but I'm also a woman of my word. When I say that someone is about to light up our world, I meant it. I mean, this guy is fantastic. He's a gospel artist. He's a musician, as a producer. He has been across, all around the world. And the first time I saw him was actually on stage. And guess what, guys? I know Mike was trying to throw a jab at me, when we started the show. The first time I saw him on stage, I actually had a crush on him. I'm shy saying that now, but I just have to confess, what I did. But then this guy is, I'm not lying, Joe.
No, I said join the line.
Oh, okay.
The line of crushers. Not go plenty.
Anyway, this guy is one of the most amazing singers I've ever experienced on stage. So we have Pita in the house.
Yeah. All right, popularly known as Pita Sings, right?
Yeah, Pita Sings.
Great to have you in the house. Great to have you. Something that struck me when we were talking much earlier, you said you're not the average gospel artist. Now, what do you mean by that?
Okay, first of all, I want to say thank you for having me here.
All right.
Thank you for coming.
I'm not the, I didn't say average, I was like, I'm not the regular kind
The
of
regular,
gospel
okay. I don't know.
gospel artist. I am, my focus is not for the church, basically, because when people hear gospel music, they think that we have to be in church, hold the microphone.
Now this is the first person that is saying something that is something.
And sing. So I think that the doctors never come for people who are okay. They always come for people who are ill. So my music is for the world. I go out in the world and I sing, and people see me, see my lifestyle, and want to know about the Jesus that I serve and the gospel that I preach. So they come to church. But my work is to go out there and sing, not in the church. But I sing in church. Basically, I was born in church. My parents are pastors. Everybody in my house are pastors except me. I must always be a black sheep. But it's okay. So that's what I meant. You would really find me anywhere. I'm not afraid to go into the clubs to sing. But the message never changes.
That is where you should be. That's where the gospel artist should be.
That is so amazing, though. But then, like I said, you're the kind of gospel artist you're different, and it kind of remind me of Mali music. Mali music.
Yes.
When you compare yourself to Mali music, honestly, you guys are almost alike. Even your genre as well.
The weird thing is, I never knew who Mali was until about 3 years ago. Someone saw me sing in church and came to me and said, Pita, do you know who Mali music is? I'm like, no, I don't. And she said, go online and check. And I checked him out and I was like, Jesus.
I know, you guys.
Weird thing, we almost look alike. And from then on, I started following his music. So we look alike, we sound alike, kind of, but it's not like he's my mentor or anything. It just happened. God just has a way of arranging things and creating people to look alike.
Have you met him before?
Okay, so I went for his concert. I just got back. I went to see him perform, and oh my God.
But when was that? You would love to work with him.
Oh yes, I would love to.
When was that? When did you meet him?
Last month.
Whoa! So just recently, after knowing him for about 3 years now.
Yeah, at the airport, I was traveling and I saw India Irie. She came to Nigeria. So I met her at the airport. So I was like, hey, India. She was looking at me. She was like, you look like someone. And the keyboardist just went, he looks like Mali music. I was like, okay, I'm actually going to the US to watch him perform. She was like, oh my God. And everything, you guys really look alike. And someone who knows me and was like, oh, he even sounds like him. I was like, well, okay, if you guys say so.
Maybe if you grow the beards longer, they might actually say, oh, this is Mali music.
When did you decide to start keeping the beard, by the way?
That's another weird thing. People say beard gang, beard gang. I've had my beard since I was in year 1. And it wasn't this much because my father would never take it. Till today, he still talks about it. And I look at him like, I don't live in your house. Leave my beard alone.
I pay my bills.
I pay my bills myself.
Time don't pass.
Just leave my beard alone. But I still listen. I cut it down a little bit. It was more than this.
It was more than this.
I just cut
Would
it
you,
like
if you were left to do whatever you want to do, how long would you leave it?
I just let it be full, proper full,
I'm thinking, maybe I should try something like that, really, and see how long. No, but I'm really, because the problem with leaving the bed actually is people around. You put on the bed and tell them, it's looking nice, then you not leave it to go say,
But again, you want to be careful because in this season, man, when you're traveling, everybody just, they just mark you out.
My brother,
they don't care if your name is Pita. They will check you out. So why do you have a beard? It's not fashion for security reasons. Sometimes it's not fashion.
It is.
But then, talking about your music, though, has it always been? You've always been a gospel artist all your life. You've never done any other kind of music.
Okay, there was a time in my life where I got frustrated by gospel music. Still am. You know, people always think that, oh, we smile and be like, oh, Jesus is real and everything, and we don't get frustrated by it. I just want everybody to know I get frustrated almost every day. But, so there was a time in my life where it really got to a point I decided I was done with church. And it wasn't about even the music. It was just about everything that you know, I never understood that it was God I was serving. So I used to look at human beings and made them a yardstick to my relationship with God. So that's when I started getting frustrated by the human beings. And so I left church. I started singing in the clubs, like proper singing things.
I still feel that challenge even up till now, because I think, you know, see, at times you don't see God. It's the human that you see. You see God.
Yes,
so
yes.
it's a challenge that we have to fight. I don't think there's ever a time that we'll not stop fighting. Because you see someone do something like, this person, I expected more. So it's a frustration, it's a challenge that we always have to fight like every other day.
I went in. In fact, there was a day I was singing in church, and I had sang at nights in the clubs. And so I got into church, and I was, my normal repertoire is when you sing that He lives in me, you know, you do it in the club, people dance it, they don't care. But after that, you go into Find a Way, Phil Collins, to my heart. So after singing He Lives in Me in praise and worship, I entered Find a Way, and people were like,
in church.
As the people didn't get it, I was like, come on, lift your hands and shout hallelujah, you know. I just played around it.
Dear Lord Jesus, find a way.
I got away with it. I got away with it because, you know, but people didn't get it because they didn't know the song. They're like, this is a new worship song.
You know.
What's going on? But I got away with that one.
So how did you find your way back into this line?
Train a child in the way he should grow, and he will not depart from it. Every time I sang in the clubs, I always knew there was always something pulling me back to church. There was always a pull back, and my mom was always praying. She knew something was wrong, and she was always praying. If you're watching, Mom, you know you're the real babe. I love you, and everything. Like she was praying. She never stopped praying. She kept on praying, and I always felt that pull. But I couldn't leave because I had signed a contract that would have kept me with the band for about a year. But some months into the contract, the man just called me and said, you know, you look strange. You look like fish out of water. You're not like the rest of the guys. I think you're not supposed to be here. So whatever you want to do, you can go. It's fine. He brought out my contract and he tore it. I was like, it's fine, you can go. And I was like, I knew that was God calling me back home. And so I went back into church. Still didn't want to sing in church. I wanted to make money, still want to make a lot of money. I'm one of those people who wants to live in a good house. It's not a function of whether I sing gospel music. I like good things. And I think that religion has nothing to do with living a good life.
At all.
I want all those things. I want a house in Iko. When I'm getting married, I don't want broken plates and all this kind of gifts. I want landed property. Like if it's 2017, I'm getting married, like 2017 Range Rover, all this kind of stuff.
No microwave,
ain't nobody got time.
Power, standard aluminium, mortar and pestle.
So I got a job, I started working, but in 2013, early 2013, I'd given up on music. I was working and I was earning well, I was living all right. And I had this bad accident that almost took my life.
I read that.
I thought I had died. And God just sent...
Were you driving?
Yes, on 3rd Mainland Bridge. Wow. And God just sent the weirdest person to deliver me. Someone who sells coffins for a living. Carried me in his hires, that stuff they used to carry coffins. Put me in it and took me to the hospital.
Wow.
At that point, I knew God had a plan for me. And so I jumped into it. Even though I had a broken arm for about 2 years, snapped in two, and I still have a metal in it right now. But with that pain, that was when I recorded that album, As I Am, The Journey So Far. And that album got me awards and recognitions both here and outside the country. And, you know, from then on, I just knew. And to be honest with you, I have a better life.
For sure, man. It's not the money that's not play. Me, I've been thinking of gospel sometimes. So the money that we are hearing nowadays. It's not those times when they say, brother, brother Pita, we have this program for the youths. You need to use your talent to bless the youths.
I just need to let this out. Honest truth. And I'm saying this to anyone who's watching, who's a church folk. This is not me dissing the church or anything. You know, the church is not supposed to take care of you. You're supposed to do that, but if you go into this looking at the church, you will get into a lot of trouble. There are a lot of things that I've done that beyond music and beyond the church. God gives you a brain, God gives you wisdom, God gives you a talent. You can make money off of it, not necessarily looking at the church. Now, I'm not saying that the church shouldn't pay what is due the artist, but take your focus away from the church. Take your focus away from that pastor or that rich uncle in that church, and let God do his thing. I have done a lot of adverts that are on CNN, are on regular TV, that people hear my voice and know it's me, and I get paid well. And I can live a good life, and I can sing in church and all that. That being said, when we go to church, equate the value these people bring to your church into finances, not with God bless you. We are blessed already. Hallelujah.
No. Don't start, brother. The blessings of the Lord can always be more on your life, brother. I mean, you can't say no to more blessings, brother.
We can't. It can't be enough.
Finally, when you had that accident, was that when you released, there was this single I fell in love with, something about Luther King, you want
I Have a Dream?
I Have a Dream.
Yes.
I love that song
I Have a Dream
so
came
much.
from this aspect of being bored with church and not having money. I looked at my bank account one day and it was like 92 kobo. They had removed all their
charges
and it had gone to kobo. Now, there's a difference between being broke and being broken.
Wow.
I was broken. So that's when I wrote the song, I Have a Dream. Like, things were not working out. The lyrics says, things ain't working out. I'm getting tired.
Yeah.
I'm losing faith. I don't know what to do. Because I had a dream that one day I'll be a star.
You'll be a Luther King.
I'll drive a fancy car, live like a superstar. I have a dream like Martin Luther King. I'm going to live a life supreme. Oh, the joy I'll bring. That was my dream. But my dream changed when I found that it was Jesus that was supposed to do everything for me. So
Hallelujah.
The dream isn't for me to be a superstar. I know that I'm a superstar. I don't need anybody to tell me. Because the Bible says that them that draw souls unto righteousness are like the stars in the sky, and they will shine brighter and brighter.
Thank you.
Just give me some advice. Give somebody out there some advice. Somebody who's broken or broke out. Give the person some advice. How do you get to find your way? How do you get to focus on just not the money, but then doing what you should do?
Purpose is not about money. Purpose is being in the place where God has put you in. That's what purpose is. Everybody has a story. Everybody has to go through a process. Nobody jumps from SS1 to SS3. You need to go through that process. There are teachers that you hated, but you had to pass their course. That's how life is. There are situations that you will find yourself that you don't like, you don't want to handle, but you have to go through that process. And that's how life is. Keep to it. Do not want to be like anybody. Yes, learn from everybody, but you want to be who you are. I am Peter. I do not sound like anybody. I sound like me. And that's what God wants me to be. And I am sure, and I am certain, and I know that I will explode. And so will you.
Take the best out. So when you say that explode, they won't hold you. Hey, Olivia. Okay, thank you very much. It's been Peter. Great having you. You're taking us out, right? You have a song you're performing.
Yes, I am your song.
It's been the Artist TV Breakfast Show. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow. Peter taking us out. This way, Peter. Just this way.